Hey there, welcome back to the Jaw Life channel. I greatly appreciate you joining. We are still working our way towards the 100 days. We are now on day 80, so eventually we'll continue working our way there and we will get to the 100 days. But right now we're just on day 80, so I'm continuing to lay those bricks, day after day. Make sure I get in, an hour's worth of practice each and every day with the guitar. So I like to see how much we can improve by the end of the 100 days. I can't wait to watch, video 100 and compare it to, video 1 and 2 and things like that, and just, see how much I've improved throughout the journey. So as you are probably acquainted to by now, I like to also challenge you to not just watch this hour-long session, but, pick up your guitar as well. Very, very minimum, get out a notepad and pen and paper or whatever, and, take down some notes, take down some of the things that I say. Write down some of the exercises that I try to demonstrate and steal them, adopt them into your own practice routines. So as you can tell by the thumbnail and the title, we'll be working with some finger picking today and some fretboard memorization, so that way we know, where's a B note? Okay, boom, here. Okay, well, where's an A note? Boom, here. Things like that. I know I have these stickers on here, so that makes it a little bit easier, a little bit of a cheat. But hey, if you're a beginner like myself with absolutely zero background, I think it's highly recommended to use these stickers. When I get my next guitar or whatever, start playing another one, maybe I won't put those stickers on there. But for now, as a beginning guide, I think it's great. So if you don't have any stickers, I highly recommend you getting some stickers for yourself. But yeah, we'll be working through some finger picking and some fretboard memorization skills today and techniques. So I have a couple exercises that kind of help me, it's kind of like playing a game, more or less, so that way I can memorize the various notes. Because there's I don't even know. I've never counted them all, but that would be interesting to know how many actual notes are there. But anyways, I got a couple games to work through. But first, I just want to kind of get my fingers warmed up. So I'm going to go ahead and hop on into some finger picking. I know a couple songs that I can kind of work through. So I want to work through these songs and just kind of get my hands and things warmed up. So again, I always invite you to follow along, learn some tips, learn some practice exercises, and, let's just have some fun. And then at the end of the 100 days, let's just see how much we've improved. So to start off, let's go ahead and get into a finger picking song that I know. And if you know what song this is, please let me know what it is down in the comment section. I'm interested to see who can pick this up and understand, what songs I'm playing here. I actually know 2 finger picking songs, so I'll play both of them for, a couple minutes each. Here's the first one. Again, let me know what you think it is down in the comment section. Luckily, it's only 4 different positions. I make basically the same shape with the index finger and the ring finger. Index finger and the middle finger. So the peace sign, right? So it's pretty much the same positioning each time. But here on the 9s, it switches up just ever so slightly. See, my fingers are on frets 5 and 6 here. Both my fingers are on frets 9 here. Now my index is on 12, middle is on 13. Index on 7, middle on 8. Back to the home. Index on 5, middle on 6. So there's like 4 different positions. You have this one here on 5 and 6. Start on 5 and 6. Slide to both of them being on 9. Then you have 12 and 13. Then you have 7 and 8. Let me zoom in for you. So you have 5 and 6. Frets 5 and 6. Slide to the 9s. Both of them are on 9s. 12 and 13. And then back to 7 and 8. Until you return home to the 5 and the 6. 9s, 12, 13, 7, 8, back home 5, 6. From 5, 6, you have the 9s, 12, 13, 7 and 8, back home to the 5, 6. You basically just keep repeating that pattern. And I'm using my thumb and my middle finger on the right hand. So the thumb is responsible when in finger picking. The general rule of thumb, obviously all rules are meant to be broken, right? But the general rule of thumb is that your thumb is responsible for strings 5 and 6. Your index finger is responsible for string 4. Your middle finger is responsible for string 3. Ring finger responsible for string 2. Pinky responsible for that high E string, string 1. So since my finger over here is on string 3, I know that I need to then use my middle finger. So it is thumb, middle finger. Bringing it back home. There we go. All right. So again, if you know what that song is, please let me know what it is in the comments below. I'm interested to see if people can, hear what I'm trying to play. Another song that I know. Let me try to play another one for you. Just to, again, trying to warm up my fingers, trying to get my brain back used to the finger picking and things like that. I feel like it's been a couple days since I've done the actual finger picking stuff. So throughout all of these 100 days, 100 videos, you'll see many different practice techniques and fundamentals, right? I'll be doing some finger picking. I'll be doing major chords, minor chords, cage chords, lead stuff, rhythm stuff, spider exercises, climbing diagonal. I'm trying to do a bunch of different fundamentals, a bunch of different techniques just to get used to the thing, right? Just to bond with this thing, rather than going and playing someone's art and trying to mimic them and doing exactly what they do. When I've never even touched a guitar at all, I can't, it was difficult to even walk up a string or, go to the adjacent string without it muffling. So I scratched trying to play other people's music. Let me just bond with this thing. Let me, work out with this thing and get comfortable with it. And then, once I start getting that comfortability, building that muscle memory, that dexterity, the fingers kind of know what to do. I'm starting to understand some theory behind it as well. Not just what to do with the mechanics in the hands and the physicality and the muscle memory, but also, what's going on up here, So I'm really trying to learn this thing and understand it. So you'll see me throughout all these videos doing a bunch of different techniques and exercises. Again, that's why I invite you to follow along, pick up your guitar, or at the very minimum, get your notepad out or steal my notes and, copy and paste them into your own Word document or your Excel spreadsheet. I have in the pinned comment section below, not the details, but the pinned comment section below, I'll leave a detailed description of the hour-long practice session that we're doing. I'll, lay things out with what I'm doing with the finger picking, what I'm doing with the fretboard memorization, or whatever the topic of conversation is for that day. So make sure you check out the pinned comment below and just copy paste those notes and steal them, and adopt them into your own practice exercises. That's what they're there for, right? That's why I'm doing all these videos, to teach myself for sure, but also to ultimately, hopefully help somebody else. Hopefully someone will comment, someone will subscribe, someone will, be interested enough to, have some conversation, and we can kind of help each other grow. So that's what this is all about. Don't need this actual pick. I was reaching for my pick. Don't need that today. Working on the finger picking. So anyways, let's hop back into another song that I know. Let me see if you know this one. Let's switch it up a little bit. Yeah, here we go. No, let's do it like this. It's a slower song, but we need these slow songs. That's for the beginning, right? One thing, especially with trying to talk into the camera and, verbalize things to the audience, it's really hard to count and memorize, what sequence I'm on. It's supposed to be, four notes in this position. Then switch to this position, and it's 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then switch back. Every now and then I might do 3, I might do 5. They say if you can count to 4, then you can play music. Apparently I can't count very well. No. Just kidding. Obviously, we can all count, but when trying to play music and communicate and talk and do a bunch of other things, it can become a little bit more difficult than just counting. So. See, and this is why we practice things multiple times, right? Just because you practice something one day for an hour doesn't mean you're super professional, super efficient, super smooth, never going to mess up again, right? That's just not the case with anything in life, not just with music and guitar, with anything. If you don't continue doing it, you will forget how to do it, or you will forget things. So slipping up there. That's why this practice is so important. All right. I'll go ahead and stop there on the songs. Again, if you know what song that is, let me know in the comment section below. I'm trying to just get the hands warmed up, things like that. But now we're going to kind of switch a little bit and go into the fretboard memorization part of the video. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. The old generic kind of way. I don't know why. I guess I'll call it generic just because it just takes a lot of time, right? If you need to know what this note is right here, for example, 3rd string, 9th fret, you could go to this string and that's the G string. So you could go, G, A, B, C, D. Oh, it's an E note. Okay. Let's see how long that takes. Let's do another one. Let's do 6th fret, 2nd string. This little orange one here. You could be like, okay, well, that's the B string. So, B goes straight to C, and you have a D, then an E goes straight to F. So, okay, so that's an F note. You could do that, but again, see how long that takes? So rather than just knowing what all of the open chords are, E, A, D, G, B, and E, rather than just knowing that, that's very important. If you don't know that yet, you got to at least memorize that, right? The open chords. You have E, A, D, G, B, E. and you can make up, all kinds of little acronyms or whatever to kind of help you memorize it. EAD, GBE, EAD, GBE. So some ways that I like to learn it, break it down into 2 strings. So for me, EA, EA, EA. Okay, how can I memorize that? Okay, well, I'm big into video games, for example. I like EA Sports, right? The video games EA Sports, like 2K and Madden and all these other sport games. Some of them are by the company EA Sports. So EA, EA. That helps me remember that. EA. Okay, 5 and 6 is EA. Okay, the middle 2, DG, DG. What can I think of there? Dolce and Gabbana. I don't know. Diamonds and gold. Whatever you want, right? So you have EA Sports, diamonds and gold, and then you have a B and an E. So, think of, whatever you would like that starts with a B and an E. Let's say beyond everything. I don't know. Beyond everything. Beyond everything. EA, diamonds and gold, beyond everything. Whatever you want. Again, the pinned comment section below will have a lot of things kind of spelled out in the notes for you, so you can kind of steal some of those to kind of help memorize. Some of the things that I like to use might not be so PG, so I'll keep those in my own head and to myself on how I remember certain things. But yeah, first things first, you have to know the open strings. There's 6 of them, right? So you need to know them in order. EAD, GBE, EAD, GBE. So when you're driving down the road and you don't even have a guitar in hand, you're not even playing, just, kind of think of those things like, oh yeah, what are those 6 strings? EAD, GBE, EA, DG, BE, EAD, GBE. Just kind of bring it back, recall it. The more you have to recall it from your brain, the more it'll be, stuck in there, right? And you won't be able to forget it. So know all 6 of them. Break them down into sections of 3, EAD, GBE. So you could break them down into sections of 3. You could break them down into sections of 2, like I described just a minute ago. EA, DG, and BE. So different ways of memorizing it that way. And then, so once you know the open strings, EAD, GBE, then you can kind of start memorizing, instead of every single note, my advice is to just start where the dots are, or whatever kind of cool schematic you have on your guitar. You might have squares, you might have dots, you might have birds. Even on some guitars they have like birds and things in there. But frets 3, 5, 7, 9, and 12. And if you know the open strings, actually, like I just said, EAD, GBE, you already know frets 12, right? Frets 12 are the exact same. They just repeat. EAD, GBE. So then, okay, so you're on frets 3, 5, 7, and 9. We really don't even have to memorize 12 because, again, 12 is repeated. If we know the open chords, we know the 12th fret notes. So starting on frets 3, just with the 6th string, right? Just with the low E string. We want to know what is on each dot. All right, so if you go to the 6th string, fret 3, fret 5, fret 7, and fret 9, because again, we're not worried about fret 12 because it repeats, you have G, A, B, C sharp, Gab, 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 C sharp. You just repeat those things over and over and over again, right? Just because you look down, you're like, oh, it's Gab, C sharp. You put it down, you come back tomorrow, you'll probably not remember what it is. But if you repeat it over and over and over again in your head, you'll remember that that's Gab, C sharp, rather than like Fab or something like that, right? Getting things mixed up. So no, repeat it numerous times. It's like when you go and you meet somebody for the first time. Most people that you'll ever meet, right? Everybody says, I included, say, I'm bad at names. Sorry if I forget your name. I'm bad at names. I'm bad at names. Are you bad at names, or do you just not really, care about that individual and care about that conversation? Because One thing to do when you meet somebody, you go up, you shake their hand, you say, hi, my name is, and they, give you their name. It's tough because you want to listen to everything they're saying, but in the back of your mind, not out loud, but subconsciously, when they introduce themselves and they say that their name is whatever, Michael, in the back of my head, I'm saying, as I'm still engaged with them, talking to them, in the back of my mind, I'm like, Michael, Mike. Or I think of like, maybe I have a cousin named Mike, or maybe I have a brother named Mike, or a nephew or something like that. Try to, make things relatable so that way you don't forget their name. And at any opportunity, you regurgitate their name. Like when they say, hey, my name is Michael. Hey, nice to meet you, Michael. Rather than just saying, hey, nice to meet you. Regurgitate it. Say Michael, say it out loud. A couple times throughout that conversation before you guys, depart and go your separate ways. Continue saying his name, at the opportunity, at the right opportunity, right? Again, pound it in your head. Same concept, right? Same concept. So you have on string 6, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Gab, C sharp, gab, C sharp, gab, C sharp, gab, C sharp, gab, C sharp. So that way, in the future, when someone asks, okay, what note is this one here on the 10th fret, you don't have to go, okay, well, that's the low E string. Okay, so E goes straight to F. There are no, E sharps or F flats. E goes straight to F. Then you got F, G, A, B, C sharp. Oh, okay, that's a D note. See how long that takes? Many seconds. However, if someone says, what's this note? And you already know that this is a C sharp note or a D flat note, well, that has to be a D. So see how much quicker that is? You want to know what this is? Oh, no, that's the 12th fret. That's easy to remember because it's the open. It's an E. Let's go here, in between 3 and 5, so fret 4. Okay, well, what note is that? Rather than having to go back to here, E, F, G, okay, that's a G sharp or an A flat. Rather than doing that, again, although it's more in this direction, it still takes a little bit too much time. Rather than doing that, you just say, okay, well, I know 3 is the start of the word gab, G sharp, right? So we know that 3 is G. Well, right next to G, what does it have to be? It has to be a G sharp or an A flat. So again, just quicker ways of doing it. And then you do that on each string. But real quick, if you know the low E string, you know the high E string. If you know the open chords, you know the 12th fret notes. So a lot of things relate, and you don't have to remember as much as you think you do. So things start to become relatable and things like that. So, and then once you get comfortable on string 6, and this might not even be, within 30 minutes or within one day, you might practice on just string 6 memorization for a couple days. Then you might go to string 5. You might practice on string 5 for a couple days. Then you might move to string 4. Practice on string 4 for a couple days or whatever, And then once you get down, gab, C sharp, you move to the next string, the 5th string, and then you figure out what are the notes on those markers. Once you know the markers, it's kind of easy to figure out what's in between on, frets 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, things like that. So again, on string 5, fret 3, you have C. On the 5th fret, you have D. 7th fret, you have an E. 9th fret, you have an F sharp. So you have C, D, E, F sharp. C def sharp, C def sharp, C def sharp. Or C def sharp. C, D, E, F 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 sharp. Just keep repeating it. I know it sounds monotonous and things like that, but hey, that's how it works, right? That's how we pound it in our head up here, so that way we don't forget it. Then you'd move to strings 4 and 3 and 2, and again, you don't have to memorize string 1 because if you've memorized string 6, you're golden. So then another thing that I like to look at is just the frets with the dots. For example, if you look at fret 7, if you look at that, it actually spells a word. It actually spells bead. B-E-A-D, F sharp, then the B repeats. B-E-A-D, F sharp, the B repeats. So the 7th frets, in my opinion, it's easy to remember them when it gives you a word in your language already, right? Easy to remember. I don't have to think of a acronym or a interesting way of memorizing it. It's already a word. It's bead. Bead, F sharp. Bead, F sharp. So B-E-A-D, F sharp, B. All right. Maybe on frets 5 and 3, you look at those. Well, that's not really a word. A-D-G-C-E-A. A-D-G-C-E-A. No, that's not really a word, but you can maybe think of something that kind of helps, bring things back. Again, I'll leave some things in the pinned comment section below. I'll have to go look some up of easy acronyms to help memorize what they are, because some of the ones that I use aren't so PG, so I don't want to say this out loud. But yeah, just whatever you can do to memorize the ones on the dots, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 12, as it repeats, that'll really help you significantly in finding the notes fast in the future. So frets 5 is A-D-G-C-E-A. 3 is C-G-E, A sharp, D-G, C-G-F, A sharp, D-G, G-C-F, A sharp, D-G. And then down here on 9 is a tough one because 9 is a lot of sharps and flats. So one that I do remember on this one, it's Celine Dion. Celine Dion, Fergie, because it's Celine Dion, so it's C sharp and D flat. String 5 is Fergie because it's F sharp and G flat. And then it's Black Eyed, B and E. And then string 2 is Grammy Awarded, so G-A, G sharp, A flat. And then again, Celine Dion. Celine Dion, Fergie, Black Eyed, Grammy Awarded, Celine Dion. So those two words kind of help remember, Celine Dion, that's a C sharp, D flat. Fergie, F sharp, G flat. Black, B, Eyed, E. Grammy Awarded, G-A, so it's G sharp, A flat. And then another C, D, so Celine Dion, C sharp, D flat. Again, random as heck, whatever can help pull it back in to memorize it, hey, use it. Write it down, use that phrasing. So many different ways to memorize the fretboard. Then now here's a game that I like to play though. So that's just kind of just looking at it and studying it, right? But what about when you actually want to play it? How about an exercise to play along with? I got one for you. So what I like to do is go to each string and again spell out that bead GCF. So I'll go to string 6. So I got the B note here. On fret 7. And then you want to know, okay, B, E, A, D, G, C, F. All right, so you just want to repeat that over and over again on each individual string, one at a time. B, E, A, D, G, C, F. B, E, A, D, G, C, F. And remember, we're still doing finger picking. Since we're on the 6th string, our thumb is responsible for the 6th and the 5th strings. So I'm using my thumb each time. B, E, A, D, G, C, F. B, E, A, D, G, C, F. That kind of helps just kind of imprint in our mind that if we're on the 6th string, we know the B is somewhere in the middle. Okay, we know E comes next and we go this direction, so it's more towards the 12th fret. Then you need A, you know that you go back up for the A, so you know that it's probably back in the middle somewhere. fret 5. There it is. All right. So see how this repetition kind of helps instill, where the notes are. I would start with strings 6 and 5. Because again, once you know 6, you know 1. So if you know 6 and 5, you already know 3 of the strings. You're already 50% there, right? You only need to memorize 3 other ones. So memorize strings 5 and 6. You'll also know string 1 when you know 6. So you're already, again, 50% there. So keep repping that out. B, E, A, D, G, C, F, B, E, G, C, F, B, E. And when you fret, try to make sure that you don't do it in the middle of the fret, but you try to get as close to that silver bar, that fret, as you can. That'll make it sound prettier, make it sound better. So keep repping that out. B, E, A, D, G, C, F. You could also say it by fret numbers. So you could say, 7, 12, 5, 10, 3, 8, 1. 7, 12, 10, 3, 8, 1. 7, 12, 5, 10, 3, 8, 1. 7, 12, 5, 10, 3, 8, 1. 12, 5, 10, 3, 8, 1. 7, 12, 5, 10, 3, 8, 1. Okay, you just keep on doing that on each individual string. Sometimes it might take, maybe all day you stay on the 6th string. And that's okay, right? We're all on our own pace. We're all on our own journey. We're all on our own time frame. So don't compare yourself to somebody else or what have you. Just compare yourself to yourself, right? I think that's what's cool about these 100 days is I'm basically just comparing myself to myself. I'm competing with myself. Am I better on day 7 than I was, on day 1? Am I better on day 15 than I was on day 7? Am I better on day 27 than I was on day 20? So on and so forth, right? I'm not worried about what that other YouTuber was doing. And I saw that other YouTuber and they had a video about, their first 100 hours and, seeing how good they were. I'm not worried about that. I'm just competing with myself. I'm just having fun, with myself. So just stick with it. Don't beat yourself up. Be patient with yourself and find those small wins and where you hear yourself doing great and pat yourself on the back. Because this stuff isn't easy, especially if you've never ever done it before. So now I'm going to play around on the 5th string with that bead, the bead exercise. B, E, A, D, G, C, F, B, E, A, D, G, C, F, B, E, A, D, G, C, F. Also, just real quick, a little shameless plug here. If if you haven't subscribed, it would be greatly appreciated if you did. I think there's like an icon over here in the corner. It makes it really easy. If you just click on this little icon over here, you can easily subscribe. It makes it easier to find my content in the future, So make sure you're subscribed if you're into music, into guitar, things like that. If I'm saying anything that you could benefit from, please hit the subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate that. Also, leave a comment of your own. I've talked about my pinned comment section of notes that you can steal, but also leave a comment of your own. Let me know what you think about the video, about the sound, about the looks. Let me know what you think about, finger picking or fretboard memorization or whatever the topic of conversation is for that day. Leave a comment below. I'm sure to read all of them. It gets a community of like minds speaking about guitar and music and things like that. So please leave a comment below. I would greatly appreciate that. Also, boop the like button for a friend. Might as well, right? You're already here watching your friend, so hit the like button just to help a friend out. Also, share the video. If you know some other people that are trying to learn the guitar, tell them about my channel, share it, send it out, put it on your Instagram, put it on your Facebook, whatever, share the video. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. It allows me to know that my content that I'm putting out there is actually helping somebody. So anyways, just want to throw that out there. Let's go ahead and hop back into the real reason that we're here. I was messing around on string 5 a minute ago. So B, E, A, D, G, C, F, B, E, A, D, G, C, F, B, E, A, D, G, C, F. And again, you can say it by fret number also. So you could say 2, 7, 12, 5, 10, 3, 8, 7, 12, 5. Nope. Let's see. 2, 7, 12, 5, 10, 3, 8, 2, 7, 12, 5, 10, 3, 8, 2, 7, 12, 5, 10, 3, 8, 2, 7, 12, 5, 10, 3, 8, 2, 7, 2, 7, 12, 5, 10, 3, 8, 2, 7, 12, 5, 10, 3, 8. Again, just spelling bead, GCF. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it up. That's that's one way to doing it, spelling bead. You could also, go through and just play your chords, right? Like if you know that this is a C chord, well, why is that a C chord? Well, on the 5th fret it stops. Your ring fingers on the 3rd fret, 5th string, that's a C note. So you could, just play your chords. Okay, C, B, E, you have A, C sharp, E. You've got B, D sharp, F sharp. You have C, E, G, C, E, G. And you have your D. So you have your D, F sharp, A, D, F sharp, A, D, F sharp, A, D, F sharp, A. And you have your E. So you have your E, G sharp, B, E, G sharp, B, E, G sharp, B, E, G sharp, B. You have your F. You have your F, A, C, F, A, C, F, A, C, F, A, C, F, A, C. Then G. G, B, D, G, B, D, G, B, G, B, D, G, B, D, G, B, D, G, B, D. So as you make your major and minor chords, wherever your fingers kind of land, those should be, one's on the root, the other's on the 3rd and the 5th. So you can kind of memorize the fretboard by knowing your majors and minors and your chords and different things like that. So let's see what's another way I want to do it. So again, with the major and minor chords, you could just go maybe on the 6th string. You want to spell out what the A major chord is. Okay, so then you got to think, what is the A major chord? It's A, C sharp, and an E. So maybe you go A, C sharp, E, A, C sharp, E, A, C sharp, E, A, C sharp, E, all on the 6th string. A, C sharp, E, A, C sharp, E. You're like, okay, well, what's a B note? A B chord consist of B, F sharp, and D sharp. Yeah. Okay, so you go B, F sharp, and D sharp. B, F sharp, 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 D sharp. Okay, what's a C chord consist of? C, E, G. Okay, so pick any string. It doesn't have to stay on string, 6. Let's go to string 3, just to show you how you can mix it up. Now you want to spell the C chord on the 3rd string. You find your C, then you find your E, then you find your G. C, E, G, C, G, C, E, G. Maybe you want to go up to string 5. C, E, G. Maybe you want to do it on string 6. All right. So different ways of memorizing the fretboard. That's all I'm trying to teach here. All right, we did A, B, C. Let's do the D chord. All right, D chord consists of what notes? D, F sharp, and A. All right, pick a string, spell out D, F sharp, and A. D, F sharp, A. D, F sharp, A. Let's pick string 2. D, F sharp, A. D, F sharp, A. All right. A, B, C, D, E is next. All right. What does an E chord consist of? E, G sharp, B. E, G sharp, B. Okay. Pick a string. Let's do 5. E, G sharp, B. 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 And remember, we're still doing finger picking over here. So if it's on the 5th string, the thumb is still responsible. Let's go over to maybe the 2nd string. Now we know the 2nd string, our ring finger, is responsible. So let's find E, G sharp, B. 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 Again, we're not going to play beautiful music with this type of stuff, but that's not what the point is. The point is just to teach fundamentals, to teach the understanding in your brain, right? We want to have the understanding in our hands and our motor skills, but we also want to have the understanding in our brain too, have that knowledge. So now let's go to an F. So we got an F chord. F chord consists of what notes? F, A, C, F, A, C, F, A, C, F, A, C, F, A, C. So pick a string. I don't know, string 3. Here's one way down here. F, A, C. So it's string 3, so we actually need to be with our middle finger. F, A, C, F, A, C, F, A, C. Am I doing this, Not not just 4 or 5 times, but like literally like 50 times, you'll start imprinting that, okay, on the 3rd string, the F is kind of down here on the 10th fret. A, I know it's like way back up high, so it's probably around like the 2nd fret, right? So you just start building in these things subconsciously. And yeah, in time, you do this a couple times a week, within a month's time, 2 months' time, you'll really understand where the different notes are. So we just did F, lastly G, right? You have G. What notes make up a G chord? G, B, D. So again, pick a string and spell out the G chord. G, B, D, G, B, D, G, B, D. So you have, let's start on the 4th string, which would be our index finger is responsible for. G, D. All right, so that's the G chord. Again, with the memorization, the most important thing first, know your open chords. E, A, D, G, B, E. First, you got to know that. Once you know that, understand that the 12th fret, that's just a duplication, right? Everything just repeats. So if you know the open chords, you already know frets 12. So know the open chords, know that duplicates into fret 12, then learn all the different dots, the notes at the dots. And then once you learn the notes at the dots, also learn them this way. Learn, that it's G, C, F, A sharp, D, G. 5th fret is A, D, G, C, E, A. 7th fret is bead, F sharp, B. 9th fret is the one with all the sharps and the flats. So it's C sharp, F sharp, B, E, G sharp, C sharp. Then 12 obviously duplicates. So there's some steps into this, right? You're not just going to do this and watch this for an hour and take down the notes, and then tomorrow just know it without looking at the stickers, without having any cheat sheet. You'll just know it. That's not how it works. That's not how anything works, right? I mean, you don't do anything and just know it. So you got to keep coming back. You got to keep doing some things, here and there. So make sure you come back to it, keep imprinting that in your head, and keep understanding where these notes are. Also, again, as you learn strings 6, you know that you also know string 1. So in my opinion, learning strings 5 and 6 are the most important ones to learn, because that's often where the chords are made, right? Here's a G chord. Here is an A chord. Well, why is it an A chord? Well, because this finger here is on an A. Well, let's throw out this caged chord here. Let's throw out a weird caged chord. How about this one? Yeah. Sorry, drawing a blank. Here we go. How about like that one? G, B, and D's are ringing out. So my pinky here is on a G. So if I know the 5th string, oftentimes that tells me the chord. So this is a G chord because my pinky is on that G, and that's the first thing ringing out. Okay, let's switch it up to this one. Well, what is this? This is also a G chord because the first note that rings out is a G. How about this C shape here? But what is the actual chord? D, F sharps, and A's are ringing out. So that tells me that that's a D chord. Why? The pinky, 5th string, 5th fret, that's a D. A, D, G, A, D. So this pinky being on that D, and that's the first string, first note that rings out, that's a D chord. It's a D note. So again, that's why learning the strings 5 and 6 are the most important. tells you what chords you're on, kind of helps lead the way. So keep practicing that, and yeah, you should be golden. One thing I'm going to do, just as these minutes are winding down, man, this hour-long practice session went by really quick, which is actually shocking because I'm actually getting over a sickness trying to. That was the last couple of days, last couple of weeks have been, pretty hard with some family obligations and things like that. Very sad what's going on, in my personal life. But then I also just came down with a sickness. All these Canadian wildfires are blowing down into the United States and, through the Midwest and the eastern side of the United States. So I was outside running the other day and I think I caught, some type of sickness. So my apologies if I'm not sounding that great or running through this exercise very smoothly. My apologies, but I needed to get back on here and record and make these videos. So I apologize if I'm, a little off my game, but I got a little headache in this eyebrow here. Got some stomach nausea, got like a golf ball of mucus in my throat. So I'm trying to get over this sickness, but I know that I need to put these videos out there and, continue trying to help somebody learn the guitar and encourage them to, some days, we feel great and we really, really want to do things, right? But discipline is all about, even on days where you're not feeling your best, even on days where you don't really want to do it, you still get up and you still do it. You still put in the time. So even on days where I don't record and things like that, maybe I'm not at home, don't have my camera, don't have things like that, I'm still working on the guitar. Even if I come in late at night and I was out all day running errands or what have you, I come in late at night, maybe I don't record for an hour, but hey, I pick it up for 25, 30 minutes, so I still am practicing every single day, even if I'm sick, even if I'm not recording, even if I have, family obligations and health scares and, things like that going on. I'm still, being disciplined, putting myself out there and making sure I get my time in so that way I can, eventually be good at this thing. So just to wrap up here, I'm going to finish off with a song rather than the exercise, go back to an actual song. So that way something kind of sounds nice as this hour-long practice session fades away. So. All right. And that'll be a wrap for today's hour-long practice session. That is day 80 now in the books. I cannot believe it. Almost there. I got 20 more days to go. I'm super stoked. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching these. I really hope you're benefiting from something from it. I hope you're stealing my notes in the pinned comment section below and adopting these into your own practice exercises. And I really hope that I'm teaching somebody else out there. That's the whole kind of point of starting this thing. So teach myself for sure, but also to help others that want to learn and are kind of having trouble getting started. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly do appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and click the little button in the corner here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. So that way it's easier to find my content in the future. And that way you can, see how good the guitar I've become after, day 100. And you can continue, following in and stealing my exercises, stealing my notes, things like that. So that way you can continue improving yourself. So also comment below, get a community of like mind speaking when you comment below. I'm sure to read all of them and respond. And I'm looking forward to meeting some friends in the comment section. So please make sure you leave a comment below. Also hit the like button just to help a friend out. And then also go ahead and share the video too. Not just liking it, but share it. If you know somebody else out there that's trying to learn something, share my videos to them. Put it on Facebook, put it on Instagram, wherever. Please share it. And other than that, there's probably some floating videos on the screen now. Here's the entire catalog, or here's the subsequent video in the series. So I would appreciate it if you continue supporting the channel and watch those as well. Other than that, until next time, take care of yourself and each other. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. I'll be waiting on you. See you there. Take care of yourself.